Welcome, Hood News Peeps, to the Hood News Unfiltered. It's your girl, Grizzy. We've got Hector with me.
Hey, what's up? Good morning. It's Saturday morning, and we got Texas playing again
Woo-hoo,
today.
yes!
Gonna whoop up on those Ravens.
Man, I'm so excited. I can't wait.
No, we got some really exciting things coming up in this show.
Do.
What are some things we're talking about?
Okay, we're going to be talking about heroes, zeros. This Arctic blast, which felt like zero, and all kinds of craziness happening in H-Town.
Also, Grizzly, we got a really cool announcement. Big shout out to Taqueria Randas, who signed up as a sponsor. Thank you, guys.
Oh, yeah, I'm so excited. I mean, we got so much in store for you guys. So sit back, go get your snacks, and chill with your girl, Grizzy and Hector. Hector, let's talk about this Arctic weather. Or you know what? Arctic weather.
It's with the C.
Yeah. It's like the whole time I've been saying it wrong, or I think I've been saying it right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How are you doing this whole winter storm?
Oh, I was without water for 2 days. And then finally I was like, I got to take a good hot shower this morning. How about you guys?
Oh, the lights were flickering off and on. It was too damn cold outside, but it was pretty crazy. And H-Town was tripping during the storm too as well.
I'm telling you, a lot of people will understand what I'm talking about, having pots and pans filled with water, bird baths, all kinds of stuff. Not to mention the grocery store being out of bread, soups, lunch meats, all kinds of craziness.
They hear, Houston, we hear it's about to get 50 degrees. We run to the stores and we warm up.
TP was out. I mean, it was crazy. Yes.
No, I mean, look at that line there. That's, it's pretty incredible that people, I mean, obviously the 2 years ago was pretty disastrous. We had the 2021 ice storm. That was bad. I was without lights for about a good week then.
Same.
That was really bad. And of course, we still have some PTSD from that. But, and I get it. We want to be prepared as much as you possibly can.
Always.
But this is at a store on North Side, right?
Yes, this is the northeast part of Houston. It was like the club in the parking lot. Everybody was in attendance, and the line was wrapped all the way like in a circle around the store. This is just like the fear of the people like that have experienced it the worst.
Yeah, and media sometimes, still the fear. I remember we were getting a lot of the alerts before. Be ready for the polar blast, the polar vortex. And but look, obviously people, were out in the streets and going about their day, and there was quite a bit of accidents out there, and you saw a lot of that.
Yeah, I am so afraid. I stayed home these last couple of days because of stuff like this, like people driving off the road, the slippery weather. I mean, look at the bridge. It was really scary. We saw a lot of accidents. I know there were well over 100 accidents reported on day one.
Yeah, I mean, I heard people were stuck on the freeways for quite a while too as well, and people were turning around on freeways going the opposite direction, so it was quite dangerous. I know when we were talking on Monday. I had just got back from the office, back to the house, and the freeways are starting to shut down. And see, there's footage right there of people going the wrong way. That looks like Hardy Tow Road and Cross Timbers.
Look how people have to go back around. That is so scary.
Yeah, and if you guys have ever driven on ice, it's a pretty scary thing. People say, well, I'm from up north. I could drive this, out in 25-degree weather. However, the cars up north are suited to drive this weather.
They've got the all-terrain wheels.
Correct.
They've got all that good stuff going.
Our cars are not built for this.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, hopefully everybody's okay and watches. But obviously, people are doing different things to cope with the ice. We even had situations like this. What was going on here?
Yeah. Like this right here, it's if we do it, we're wrong. If we don't do it, we're wrong. A lot of people complained about the water getting turned off to their apartments. But when we see videos such as this one, a Hood News Peep reached out. She lives in a nice apartment in downtown Houston off of St. Joseph's Parkway. She told me that all of a sudden the loud explosion, they had a lot of water seeping everywhere, and then it was literally almost to her ankles. And this is really scary stuff. A lot of damage. This could cause like electrical issues too. Look at the water just pouring.
Yeah, I saw this the other day, and when this was being posted, I got PTSD. It was like when my house during the 2021 ice storm, and we walked in from staying at a family member's house, water was pouring from the ceiling, ruined our living room, our dining room. I could imagine for these poor folks here, waking up and then having to deal with the water and not just the code, but also water damage.
Exactly.
What's going on here?
Oh, then we had a Peep reached out. Oh my goodness. A lot of people were trying to thaw out their pipes, and this is a prime example. This young man here, he was well suited up, went outside with a hairdryer. and let's look at some of the comments. This was a funny video.
Yeah, did this work first? This work?
I think it did. He told me it did.
Yeah, Krista Chavez, she says, well, how about you say this one?
Hey, hottie, try throwing a heating blanket around that pipe. After that, try throwing the other one my way. Stay warm, Houston. Oh my gosh. This is like, where my chiquitas at? Oh my goodness.
Jose Lopez, he says, Paul Mitchell approves.
Yes, for sure, man. That would be a great advertisement right there. And then Crystal Rendon, she says, that is not a good idea. Defrosting the pipes too fast can actually hurt more than can help. I fell victim to the same theory last winter and my pipes burst. You know what? At the end of the day, I think different things work for different situations.
Yeah.
I've seen both sides of the spectrum, and I've experienced my ceiling collapsing. And so it just depends, like the luck of the draw.
Yeah, I've heard, people debate whether you got to keep your faucets on drip and whether you don't. And I'm like, some people are, and I see one news outlet saying drip your faucets. And there's a lot of theories out there, but I guess whatever works for you. But for obviously this guy, he's a professional with Paul Mitchell blow dryer. So hopefully it worked for him.
Yes.
But there's a lot of other crazy things that were happening during this recent Arctic blast, right?
We had great signs of human kindness, like, our faith in humanity restored. We had people out there, helping the homeless, loading them up. HPD, shout out to HPD. They had a task force just to take, the homeless and get them to somewhere safe, like really literally pulling them off the streets to safety. So we had a lot of stories
and a lot of police officers are out there, and it's 25-20 degree weather, and it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and it's hard work to be out there in those elements.
Exactly.
But the cold weather, whether it's extreme heat or extreme cold, it makes people do some really crazy things.
Ooh,
there was an incident this weekend where I guess a guy was leaving a store with a bunch of clothes.
Yes, this is one of our bandits here, as you guys can see. Oh my goodness. So while some people were preparing, they were getting bread off the shelves, all this stuff, he was preparing in his own way. He ran out of a store with tons of mustard colored tracksuits.
Just trying to stay warm, I guess.
And you know what? He became famous. Like, they made memes of him.
I see him. He's in a movie poster.
The Peeps are great artists. I mean, they are so good with this Photoshop. Look at them.
Yeah, there he is in downtown Houston. I mean, he's definitely ready for the ice storm.
Yes.
There he is with police officers, the chief of police there, hanging out with him. But hopefully it was worth it.
Yes. Now let's read some of these comments that came in. We got Kelly Speak. She says, he said one for me and some for the homies.
Grizzy, you know that Houston is known for its car accidents. And this past week, we had the Arctic blast, and people were slipping and sliding everywhere, slamming into everybody's cars, 18-wheelers, a lot of accidents. It happens to people, and it happens to the best of us. But if you find yourself in that place, you have the right representative to look out for you, and that is the Hollingsworth Law Firm. Steve Hollingsworth and his firm has been doing this for many, many years. If you find yourself in a situation that needs representation to fight for you and get the justice you're looking for, reach out to the Hollingsworth Law Firm. All right, Grizzy. So our Houston Texans, played an incredible game this last Saturday against the Cleveland Browns.
Yes,
now,
they did.
Some of the dog pound actually showed up to NRG Stadium, and a video went viral. What happened here?
I really don't know. There was a little bit of controversy between the fans. Somebody from the Cleveland Browns made some gestures that really bothered. H-Town, we're very united people. Mm-hmm. So when you, especially at a Texans game, if you mess with one, you mess with all of us. So something popped off. We can't really make the accusation.
It could have been his overalls that pissed
Yeah,
off,
I'm telling you, that's a crime. That is a crime. But yeah, he got heckled, and I mean, a few words, but it didn't come to more. You know what I mean?
No, it's a good thing that everybody held their composure and it didn't go to hand and it didn't end up worse.
Yes.
Definitely want respect on both sides, but it's good to see that everybody had a great time overall.
Yeah, somebody started yelling out, "Hood News."
Hey, you're going to end up on Grizzy Hood News.
You know, we have no problem with other teams coming in, and if you're a fan and you're wearing different jerseys, and come in, but you're going to respect our house and respect our people.
Exactly.
Obviously, there's something that went down that caused this video, obviously, to go viral. But it was really cool, too, as well, that people say that, you know, like, for instance, this guy, Nathan, on Facebook says, "So you are the new world star." They're saying, Grizzy, you're going to be on Grizzy's Hood News.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. All right, Hector. So this is one of those situations where we can definitely learn from the stories that we tell. Mm-hmm. So what happened was a Hood News Peep reached out to me earlier on in the day telling me, hey, my car got stolen. And we let them know where they could go, you know, to report it. And they did their own hunting. They eventually found their own car in a parking lot. So they flagged down an HPD officer who wasn't too far away. And the officer placed this lady under arrest. So the moral of the story is be careful with hood rentals. Be careful with borrowing people's cars if you don't know that might really belong to them.
How does for some of our viewers who probably don't understand, how does a hood rental work?
Man, I don't know. It's like a trade. It's like a sneaky trade. I don't really know how to say it, but like she may have borrowed it from somebody in exchange for a couple of dollars. It's really sad. You know, she's yelling out that, hey, I gave them the car back. I didn't steal it.
I gave them back the car.
Right. This again, it's real important why you know what type of friends and type of who's around in your circle, because they could be giving you the wrong car. That could be a stolen vehicle. And unfortunately for this lady, she could be somebody who was just borrowed somebody's car and is in possession of it. But a little bit of a funniness to it is she's screaming that she gave the car back.
We had Erna. She says, I gave you back the car, LOL. Like the dude who stole the AC unit but couldn't fit it in his trunk. It's still there, so I didn't steal it. Good Lord. That's what one person commented.
And the Houston Police Officers Union said, oh, she's stealing.
Man, yes. Hey, shout out to Houston Police Officers Union. We love you guys. Thanks so much. And their commentary is always fire.
Yeah, they're big supporters of the Hood News, and really appreciate them following us and being supporting of the movement. But yeah, you know, watching this, you know, it's sad to see sometimes, you know, people get caught into the wrong thing. It's guilty by association.
Yeah, exactly.
But, you know, and sometimes it could take a while to get your car back if you report it stolen.
Oh, yeah. Some people never see their vehicles again. And if they do, it's more likely it'll be in pieces. All right. So our next segment is Hood News Hero. Guys, check out this photo. Hector, look at this. So this is a Hood News Peep's loved one, and his heroic actions help potentially save some high school students from an attack by a man who was in a state of undress. So this is really crazy story. A janitor was, you know, outside the school, and somebody who was in a state of undress approached him, demanding that they open the school and let him in.
So this is during school hours?
Yes, during school hours last Friday. So the janitor, he was like, no, I'm not going to open. You know, he did what he needed to do to protect the kids. And unfortunately, he was attacked by this individual who I think was a student also. Yeah, I'm reading that right here.
Yeah.
Yep. And so the suspect, he had to play dead.
Wow.
Like right so he would stop, you know, attacking him. And so he checked on him twice to make sure he wasn't moving. So his intentions were not good at all. So this man is a hero in the Hood News book.
And it could have gotten a lot worse. I mean, had he not been there at that time, imagine what could have happened.
Yes.
Imagine this is our Hood News hero of the week.
Yes.
This guy took a stand and defended the students on the property. You know, it could be a teacher, it could be a principal, but here we have a janitor who stood up and protected the students there on property.
Oh yeah, Mr. Simon, he is a hero, definitely. I mean, to get beaten down and choked, and that's very traumatizing. So our prayers for him, and you know, I hope he makes a full recovery. And definitely, a lot of people were very shocked to learn of this occurrence.
Yeah, and you know, you send your kids out, and you know, you're putting their kids' lives in the hands of the teachers and administrators, and you know, we probably don't think about the janitors too as well, but bus drivers and others too as well. But those people actually step up to the plate, and they take care of our children. So no matter if you're a principal, teacher, a bus driver, or person that works in the cafeteria or in administration there at the school. Thank you guys for everything that you've done to protect our kids and look out for them. These are stories we don't want to hear, but this guy took he took it for the rest of the kids there at the school.
He found the strength to drag himself after playing dead for a little while, and he saw the coast was clear. He was able to drag himself up a ramp, and he was able to use his cell phone, which was covered in blood, to call the school and notify them and let them know. Now the police were dispatched out, and they did capture the suspect. So we're waiting to hear what happens. What are the consequences for something of this magnitude? Hector, we're in crazy times when we see Nazis in Houston.
Yeah, I mean, the 1940s is over. We're done with this. Yeah. It's crazy to see this. People, I think it was on a Sunday. People were on their way to NRG Stadium to see the Texas play.
Yeah.
Last thing we want to see is these idiots.
I don't even know what to say. I was speechless, honestly. We're such a diverse city, and then to see these clowns out there, it's really wild. There was one of our peeps out there. This young man went out there and went to try to take some of those signs away from them, and they bear maced him. So,
oh man, one thing, we don't want to condone violence, but one thing about Houston is that we stand up for our own. Another thing is that Houston's a very diverse city, and we're probably the most diverse city you will ever visit, and we celebrate that.
Yeah, I hope they are so discouraged from coming out again. They need to really stop the madness.
And Grizzy, I'd be surprised if these guys are actually from Houston, but you never know. You
for
never
sure.
know. But when I go to other cities and it's mostly one race or the other, I miss my H-Town because it has everybody, the melting pot, and that's what there's a lot to celebrate here. And of course, you'll have a few little bad apples sometimes that will show up like this. This does not represent who we are.
Exactly. So let's read some of the commentary. Nali, she says, not the way the majority of Houston feels. We are such a diverse city. All are welcome except these jerks.
Yeah. Martha, she says, it looks like the Hogan Bridge near Northside. I dare them to go down a little further. That's the hood.
Oh, yeah. Come on to the hood and do that. Yeah. Come on out to the hood.
It looks like they found out quickly after that. At the same time, I kind of feel like these people are kind of looking for that trouble. They want the problems to show up to them. I typically would suggest just ignore these guys. Don't give them the time of day.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel. They don't have a place in Houston.
Grizzy, it's been a great show.
Yes.
I want to thank everybody for watching and tuning in and following the Hood News. Grizzy, anything you want to say before we leave?
I'm just very thankful for this opportunity with Brand Nation. Hood News peeps at home, thank you, because without you guys, this is not possible. So I really want to thank everybody for their support.
No, thank you. And then also, really big shout out to our sponsors. We have Hollingsworth Law Firm, Taqueria Arandas, and Liberty Tax Services who are on board. Really excited about the movement that's happening. We're just getting started. Stay tuned. Also, follow us on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. Follow us. You'll get notified. We have some really cool things that's coming up, even more in-depth information and stories. So stay tuned, locked in. Until then, if it's real news,
it's Hood News.